Hello! So I was just looking for a decent Battleship replay, and well, I realise I haven't shown you a game in the Arkansas in a while. I'm liking the ship a little bit less now that I've got the Wyoming fully upgraded, because, well, the Wyoming fully upgraded is a much better ship than the Arkansas, but the Arkansas still has its moments. See, in this game, well, I'm just coming in range of the enemy after a few minutes of sailing on after my team. I originally started heading towards A, but then I realised the rest of my team is heading towards C, so I turned to follow them, which, as a general rule, means I'm probably going to have a good game because my team's going to steamroll C and then B and then A, and I'm just going to be lagging along behind the whole time, getting long-range shots like you see me doing at this Kohlberg here. And I really don't like shooting at Kohlbergs when I'm in this, well, the Arkansas or the Wyoming, because it's actually got pretty effective armour at keeping up battleship shells. It's got absolutely no armour on the top, so I'm going to over-penetrate most of the time there. But it's got an internal deck which is quite thick and very well sloped, so if I hit that, I'm actually most likely going to bounce and not get any citadels. And just between the two, well, there's also no real penetrating shots, so I'm just going to over-penetrate against this Kohlberg a few times because there's not really anything else for me to shoot at. When I say that, and that broadside misses completely, the Kohlbergs start turning away just after I shot, so I get no hits. But that's okay because the enemy battleships have just come within range. Now we see an enemy Arkansas beta, which, well, you have to assume that anyone driving an Arkansas is a pretty decent player. I thought about shooting at the Furutaka there because the Furutaka is a cruiser. It's kind of my job in battleships to kill enemy cruisers. So I decided that since the Arkansas's got its armour flat onto me, it's probably the one to shoot at. I start turning my bow in towards it to try and get a bit more effective angling against these shells. And well, most of them miss, but I actually made a mistake here and turned too far. I was too busy watching where the enemy shells were landing, which means that my next broadside, which I want to fire in 5 seconds, well, half my guns are going to be pointing 90 degrees away from where I want them to be. So I only fire my forward 2 turrets off, and then keep my bow pointing basically in the direction of this Arkansas, because well, you have to expect their next broadside very soon. But as it is, I've still managed to do 10,000 damage to that Arkansas, although, well, a broadside in the third. Well, I was going to say it's done a lot less to me, but it's a fair bit of damage with those shells. But I'm bringing my rear guns around now. I'll fire off half broadside there, and then my 3 forward turrets fire off. Do 5,000 damage with the first lot, and 830 with the second half. And again, I actually turned too far, and now I'm heading away from the enemy ships, which I really don't want to do. In the Arkansas, the effective range is probably under 8 kilometres, I'd say. Probably firing away at a Arkansas, you really want to be within about 5 kilometres so you can get citadel hits on it. But fortunately for me, the enemy aren't shooting back at me, so I can actually turn back towards without risking my broadside. Do 7,000 damage to that enemy Arkansas, and that will finally start getting my bow heading in the right direction, my ship heading towards the enemy. I decided to swing my ship right around here, change them, try and start switching my gun turrets around. It's basically because, well, most of my team actually headed down to the south of C. I really don't want to. I decided to get one more broadside off here at the Arkansas, just because it's at very low health and I want to finish it off. But I really want to start heading north, because there's just no point heading down towards where my allies are. It's too far away from the enemy and too far away from the capture points. Did a fair bit of damage to the Arkansas there, and my team managed to finish it off. But so far I haven't been having that great a game. I've made 2 mistakes with my turning. I've finally managed to catch up with my team, but only because they're not pushing very aggressively. As I said, most of my team for some reason went to the south of C instead of pushing directly into the cap. Take a few shots at the Phoenix, and I'm finally firing away at cruisers, which is kind of what you want to do in a battleship. Unfortunately, I miss. I see a Furutaka, which is also a very good target to shoot at. But my guns aren't reloaded yet, my rear turrets haven't quite swung around. I managed to avoid all the enemy fire there, although I didn't really do anything to dodge it. And of course, once my guns are reloaded, the Furutaka is presenting a very poor shot to me. I decided to fire my 4 turrets off anyway. Actually, I fired all my turrets off, bar number 3. And I get 1 hit. Does minimal damage. And that's when I see that the Furutaka is turning broadside onto me. So in retrospect, I should have held that last broadside. But I'll get my broadside ready in 5 seconds. And broadside onto a Furutaka is, well, having a Furutaka broadside onto you is a very good shot. Because its citadel will be very exposed and those shells look good. Well, 1 hit and it over penetrates, bounce, well, shells land all around it.
Torpedoes to port!
Don't get any effective hits. I've also taken more damage from the enemy there. I've just used my second damage repair ability. But just keeping my hit points up in the green. So I've got a fair hit point pool to spare here. Next broadside's ready for a target. Bounce a shot from the Congo there. And there's the Furutaka dead. 10,000 damage from a single broadside, 2 citadel hits. And now I'm trying to get some shots off at the Phoenix here, but it's going to get behind the island before I get a chance. So instead I decide to spin my ship around and fire away at this Congo. My forward 2 turrets are facing the right direction, but I keep swinging to rolling some of my rear turrets around. And aim for the waterline. 11,000 damage. The thing is, Congo, even though it's a tier 5 battleship technically, it's actually a battle cruiser, so its armour's not particularly thick, except around the citadel. So my 12-inch shells actually have no trouble penetrating it. And here's the Phoenix, a very nice ship to shoot at if you're in an Arkansas. But unfortunately my guns aren't quite ready, it starts turning away. So it's not really looking great for me right now, but this time I hold my fire because it looks like it's going to swing right around and present its broadside to me in a second. And there goes my broadside. 10,000 damage, not bad. It's really hurt that Phoenix. I angle my ship slightly away from the Congo there because I want my secondary batteries to start firing at it. But I'm not going to be firing at it right now. My main job, I think, is to kill the Phoenix, which will just allow that Clemson in particular a bit more freedom engaging the Congo in front of me. Broadsides up. Away at the Phoenix, but now I'm really going to have to just deal with this Congo. It's within 2 kilometers of me. Unfortunately, I get a citadel hitting that Phoenix and managed to finish it off. I make a bit of a mistake here. Basically, well, this is point blank range against the Congo. I see that it's fired its shells at me, and I swing my ship around, and then I fire my guns as they become ready, but my main turret's been knocked out there. I use my last damage repair ability to start healing some of the damage I'm taking.
Our victory is in sight.
And firing my guns as they become available, but at this range, I actually lose track of when the Congo fires its main guns at me. Just in all the secondary fire and the shell fire coming in, and having a hard time picking out which explosions are which. Means I take a lot of damage here because I am broadside on when its main battery arrives, and I believe that takes me down to about 200 health. I do manage to recover a little bit of it, which leaves me on 1,379 hit points with 1 enemy ship remaining. But that Congo was killed, and while it did a lot of damage to me because I was broadside onto its 14-inch shells at 2 kilometers range, I also did a fair bit of damage to it, and I had backup from my team, which that poor Congo did not. So, interesting little close range engagement there with, well, it's a technically superior battleship, but in a point blank engagement like that, the Arkansas is probably actually the better ship. But anyway, this game's effectively over. I'm just going to capture this base, and then I try and catch the last enemy cruiser, but my team's all much faster than me, so I didn't even get... I do get within firing range, but I'm not really going to bother showing that to you guys because it's a long time away. But anyway, 3,700 experience, and that award there is the Dreadnought Award, which I believe you get for taking more than 110% of your ship's hit points in damage and surviving. And as well as doing that, I did, what's that say? Is it 82,000 damage? I did a lot of damage anyway. And the thing is, for most of that game, or at least, except for the last 2 minutes of this video, I was actually having a pretty bad game. I mean, I was fighting that Arkansas at the start, and I did alright against that, but I made a lot of mistakes. Missed a few broadsides on the Furutaka, missed against the Phoenix, over-penetrated against the Kolberg, and then it was suddenly massive broadside against the Furutaka, 10,000 damage, massive broadside against the Congo, where it was like 11,000 damage, decent broadside against the Phoenix, where it was 10,000 damage, then killed the Phoenix with the next broadside, and then just that awesome little close range engagement with the Congo. And just that little, well, I suppose it must be 3 minutes if I fired that many broadsides, really made the game for me. And that's the kind of situation where you want to be in with the Arkansas, where you get close to your enemy, and just every broadside you do just does massive damage to your enemies. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.